Değerli misafirler, Bioexpo Yaşam Bilimleri İş Platformu'nun 3. gününe hoş geldiniz. Konuşmanın moderatörlüğünü yapması için Rüştü Bahar'ı sahneye davet ediyorum.
Evet, değerli katılımcılar, merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Bioexpo sempozyumumuzun SANOFI Uydu oturumuna katılım sağladığınız için sizlere çok teşekkür ederiz. Sempozyumumuz kapsamında farklı uzmanlık alanlarında birçok bilgi ve tecrübe paylaşımına imkanına sahibiz. Bu paylaşımların API üretim stratejilerini doğru anlamamız bağlamında çok değerli olduğuna inanıyorum. Bu bağlamda köklü, küresel çapta önemli bir API üreticisi olan SANOFI'nin paylaşımlarının da sempozyuma değer katacağını düşünüyorum. SANOFI, geçtiğimiz yıla kadar yeni moleküller geliştiren ve API üreten köklü bir ilaç firması iken, aldığı bir kararla, önemli bir kararla API üretim alanında yeni bir firma kurma yoluna gitti. 18 Mart 2022 tarihinde kurulan bu yeni firma, Euronext Paris borsasında halka arzı gerçekleştirildi. Şimdiden API üreticileri arasında bir dünya devi konumuna gelen bu firmanın adı Euro API. Bugünkü oturumumuzda Euro API'dan iki önemli yöneticimizi ağırlıyor olacağız. Essam ve Matthew. Her ikisi de daha önce SANOFI bünyesinde uzun yıllar çalışmış, alanlarında çok deneyimli isimler. Essam, Intercontinental Bölge Başkanı olarak görev yapmakta. Matthew ise uzun yıllardan beri kendisini tanıyorum. Birlikte aynı iş biriminde çalışma fırsatı bulduk. Kendisi Euro API'da üretim operasyonlarından sorumlu Yönetim Kurulu Başkan Yardımcısı olarak görev yapmakta. Ben sözü bir an evvel kendilerine devretip Euro API hakkında bizlere genel bir tanıtım yapmalarını rica edeceğim. Sonrasında ise konuyu biraz daha irdelemek adına kendilerine birkaç sorum olacak. Tabii ki siz değerli katılımcılarımızın da soruları olursa oturumun sonunda çekinmeden sorabilirsiniz. Dears, the floor is yours.
So first of all, thank you very much for the invitation and the amazing opportunity to be back to a city that I love and I've always wished to live in for a long time, Istanbul. I'm Egyptian, French, with Turkish origins from my mother. So more or less I feel home here as well. And the subject that we have today is a very interesting subject because it's very, very rare in the industry you create a new entity into the chemistry world, which is the API production and so on. And I think we were very happy and pleased to be able to do this creation with Euro API, and I will explain to you what Euro API is together with my colleague here. So, without further delay, what was the ambition, what we wanted to do when we talked about Euro API? A lot of chemistry inside SANOFI, very diluted everywhere, serving basically one company, SANOFI and so on, and a few other customers. And the ambition was much more for us to think at global level and to think about the patients who are everywhere in the world, not only in Europe, not only in France, not only in Turkey, not only anywhere, all over the world, who are seeking the access to high-quality chemistry or APIs into their pharmaceutical products. That's also coming from a culture or an environment that's highly regulated, which means an additional guarantee for the patients that the product they receive is very well tested, very well qualified, and so on. And this is what we come with here. So the idea is reinventing the word. Basically, we see the pillars we talk about here. One, knowing where are we very good, we are very strong, improve it, increase our capacity to cover more patients, and also knowing where do we have knowledge, expertise, the best chemistry in the world, where we are different from any other chemistry producer in the world, and then add innovation to it and come with new things. So that was the vision and the mission of EuroAPI when we started creating it. And when it comes to this, you see in the strategy very clearly what I was talking about. So one, which is the CDMO activity. So we bring basically to the areas where we know, the research and development, how can we improve what we have? How can we bring a different dimension for the customers who are looking for new chemistry, new molecules, and maybe better material or APIs for their formulations and so on. The second one is knowing where we are very strong. We know we have 4 or 5 that Matthew will show you areas where we are without dispute number 1 in the world when it comes to the knowledge, the chemistry, the quality, the facilities, and the machines we have. And we said in those areas, we need to expand our reach to reach more patients everywhere in the world, not in Europe because the name EuroAPI sometimes misleads, but today in some of our areas of interest, we're number 1 in India, we're number 1 in China, we're number 1 in Latin America. So the reach to more patients is what we have was our second interesting thing through the technology we have, and then develop the product portfolio and improve our operational performance. And in this, you will see only a number of things. So basically, the vision, the strategy, the pillars of whatever we wanted was patients, public health. Patients, public health, everywhere. And the fundamentals we have here, I will probably go through them very quickly, but Matthew will give you a few more details about those. Number 1, reliability, because we learned the lesson during the project. We started this project 3 years ago. And when we started the project, then we had a war, and then we had a disease going everywhere, and things changed, concepts changed. And then we have a small boat that was stuck in the Suez Canal in Egypt for 2 weeks, and it impacted a lot of patients, a lot of production companies. Supply chain came to the surface. China was closed, supply chain came to the surface. Your supply cycle and so on came to the surface again and so on. So we started learning the lessons. So the first thing that we know that we wanted to offer our patient is a reliable source. To be reliable, we also need to have behind us reliable processes, reliable sources, reliable supply chains, and so on. The second one was quality, because in so many areas where we knew that we are definitely, because we are extremely controlled, because we live in countries where the authorities and the qualification is not easy, we have internal quality rules that's much more tighter than the European, American, Japanese, all of the other countries' requirements. Our internal requirements are higher and tighter than any other authority. So quality, we'll talk about it immediately. Business continuity, of course, safety and security, and the customer service, where is an area we know today is not the easiest one, because you have China closed. Whether you have the best team or not, a lot of patients around the world will not find their medicine. You have a port or a canal or a river closed or something, and so the customer service, again, is a dimension that takes maybe all of those things together. And I leave Matthew talk to you a little bit about this.
Yes, thank you, SM. So here we wanted also to explain and to demonstrate that when we talk about fundamentals, it's not only wishful thinking, but we have the figures behind it to really show to our future customers what it means. And for us, quality is getting through 100 audits over the past 2 years without a single critical finding all over the network. So you have here the 100% achievement all over the 6 sites. And this is something we are extremely proud about because this is really one of the first criteria that we want to show to the customer to say, guys, you will not get a quality issue when working with us.
A quick view of what we have created here, the company that was created in the past 2 years, put on the stock market on the 6th of May?
6th of May, yes.
6th of May. And I had the pleasure to be on the French stock market and build the ring. That was a very, very nice moment, launching a new company to the market. We talk about more than 200 APIs, and we're very proud of the number because dilution is not very good in chemistry, but we arrive at 200 KPIs from 6 sites only. And the chemistry on the sites is very specific. So more or less, we're talking about the capabilities, the technology that you see. They are very concentrated in certain areas of expertise and knowledge where we are very, very strong. 3,500 more or less people, of which at least 200 scientists, chemists, who are there to do innovation and so on. We have around 2,800, 2,900 in production, and the rest is our network to serve the customers commercially and everything, everywhere in the world. And today, we cover almost 80 countries. So when you think about the EU, we're talking about, 28 countries or something, or 30 countries in the EU. Actually, we are existing and we operate in 80 countries, which is, I think, a number only second to SANOFI and what we call commercial spread. For most of our competitors, we are almost everywhere. For us, we wake up in the morning, we need to serve one more patient. And we don't care where this patient is. Is it a big company or a small company? It's a generic or innovator. Of course, we have certain criteria of the customers we work with because we want to develop for the future. But at the end of the day, what we have at the back of our head when we wake in the morning, am I going to offer another patient a better product or not? And that's what we work for. The headquarters are in Paris, but we have a commercial organization everywhere. Those are the 6 sites we have, and I think I will maybe leave Matthew talk to you better about the sites.
Yes, so thank you, Essam. So as you have seen, the network is a historical network that we got from SANOFI when making the carve-out, and now we have a clear strategy for each site, which is taking part of the global EuroAPI strategy. So we'll go into the details, but more or less we have the specific and the small molecule complex chemistry, basically Vertolaye, Frankfurt, Budapest. We have fermentation platform to produce B12 or antibiotics in Elbeuf and in Brindisi, and we have some specific drying, the spread drying facility in Avril, because spread drying today in the latest forms is something that is very important, is a critical asset. So to go a little bit deeper, and this is also what we were explaining, it's important to know what we are good at, and one of the things is the capabilities that we can offer. We will talk a little bit later about the CDMO role that we want to expand, and we need to be in a position to deliver whatever technology the customer are looking for, and this is indeed what we are looking at. And you see that in the world of small molecules, we can offer basically all the technologies that are requested for organic synthesis. In the pharma world, something that is also important is to be in a position to handle the very active molecule, and we see that we seek for more and more active molecule, which demand specific knowledge, specific requirements, specific facilities, and we are keeping investing in our high potency facilities, both in Vertolaye and in Budapest. We also look into fermentation and biologics because we know that the world is also getting in that direction. We have our fermentation platform, and we will strengthen this fermentation platform by building a new pilot in Brindisi in order to be able to run any CDMO activity also in the biologics, because it is an area where we are already good at and where we want to become stronger in terms of development capabilities. And last but not least, so we are looking also a little bit around and what are the needs from specific customers, and we look at, okay, what can we do in terms of lyophilization or secondary packaging. But it's not only to offer some capabilities and the knowledge. We are also looking at the portfolio, and we know also our strength in terms of our portfolio, and we know the area where we want to remain number one, and we are heavily investing also in this area. So it is in prostaglandin, so in Budapest, opiates and controlled substance here from the Aramon facilities, anti-infectives from the fermentation platform, corticosteroids and hormone in Vertolaye and in Budapest, and the vitamin B12, which is a very big molecule for us, and where we see that the needs are growing everywhere around the world. The third part of our strategy is CDMO. So basically, what we want to do is to tell to any pharma company, give us whatever molecule, we will bring it to an industrial scale. So we are offering a wide network of scientists, wide network of development centers, and for all the technologies that I spoke about earlier, we have the knowledge and we know how to bring your project from phase 1, phase 2 into something that you will be in a position to put in the market. And if you are happy about what we have offered to you, we will be also happy to produce at industrial scale using our facilities. And last but not least, we are getting to the end. Maybe SM, you want to tell us a little bit about the culture that we want to build as well.
I think I will make that very quick, but you probably understood. As we do all of this, we keep our own values, our own standards as well. So a lot of social responsibility, a lot of innovation, a lot of environmental responsibility, a lot of multicultural workspaces and people culture into what we bring in, and above all, of course, a very strong and centralized governance. So basically, we build what we build, and with a lot of our own values in the process. And I'm not going to spend more time on this. I think this is the last one. Maybe this one is working?
Yes. No, then again, we have all the fact and data supporting, especially in the environmental area, that it's very important. Working in chemistry, I mean, we are playing with solvent, we are playing with a lot of molecules, and obviously we are looking in all directions to minimize our impact on the environment and on the planet. Okay. So here it is the short presentation, and I think we are also very happy to answer the questions.
Exactly on time. Thank you for your impressive presentation.